Tale of Toast is the future of MMORPGs. Don't believe me? Well, let's see if I can change that. For those of you who are unaware, Tale of Toast is a free-to-play, full-loot PvP MMO that has been in development since January of 2015 and made its Steam Greenlight debut in February of 2017. This game boasts that it has hardcore PvP mechanics where dying actually means something, and that goes back to its roots with old-school MMORPG ideas. You know, kinda like the old days of RuneScape Classic way back in 2001. Now, while this is definitely a neat idea, this isn't what makes Tale of Toast the future of MMORPGs. See, up until now, most, if not all, of the bigger MMOs were released by companies with several hundred employees. While this can definitely help with the development exponentially, it also creates a rift between players and creators. See, unless you're up there in the World of Warcraft community, you can't just have a talk with a lead developer about a feature in a game. If there is a bug or if there's a suggestion you have for the game, the entire process is completely automated and you have no idea if someone is actually going to read it or if the forum just goes straight into the recycle bin. That's what makes Tale of Toast so different from other MMOs. It was made by two people, Austin and Frederick. Hey guys, I'm sure you're watching this. Keep up the good work, you got this. Now, I'm not saying that you should like the game simply because it's made by two people. On the contrary, actually, if you don't like a game, you probably aren't going to like it when you suddenly discover that the development team is consisted of two people. But that's the neat thing, despite only having two people working on it, and it is two people in total, by the way. They split the responsibilities amongst themselves and don't have a QA team or anything of the sort. Both Austin and Frederick were and are still able to develop an amazing game that hundreds of people are enjoying. But what is it about Tale of Toast that people enjoy? Is it the simplistic yet whimsical art style? Is it the hardcore PvP aspect? Is it the full loot? Maybe PvE sounds good in the future. Maybe, but I, as well as a lot of other members in the community, are sticking around simply because of how good the community is. Community makes or breaks a game. I mean, it's in the genre. Massively multiplayer online role-playing game. Just with that, we get the picture of an online game that utilizes the multiplayer concept in a massive way. So why then is it almost every MMORPG that has come out lately is marketed towards solo players? Now, don't get me wrong, before I found my current friend group, I played almost every single game solo, and still do to a lesser extent, so I understand the appeal behind that kind of playstyle. But to actually make it more difficult to play with friends than without, that's a bit strange for a genre defined as massively multiplayer. So with a multiplayer game, when you spend a lot of time interacting with the community, you'd better hope that the community is good. I think that that's why so many MMOs that come out nowadays are designed to be able to be played solo, because communities in most MMOs now are just negative and extremely off-putting to many new players. So the idea of a game that forces you to interact with that community might seem like a game of chance. You might get a good community or you might get a poor one, right? Especially with a game like Toast. I mean, it's set up and has the deck stacked against it to have a negative and toxic community. And let's just think about the idea for the game. An anime chibi art style. Well, with the anime community, it's kind of a coin flip, I think. You either have someone who just likes watching anime and is happy to exist. Then you have,
Don't fuck with me! I have the power of God and anime on my side! Wait,
well, someone like that with their waifu. On top of that, it's marketed as a hardcore PvP game. Even if you've never PvP'd in an MMO, you've probably gotten caught up in some of the drama at some point. I mean, just take a look at Arcade. That game is also marketed as a hardcore PvP game, and well, look how well that community turned out. So, Surely, Tale of Toast has a toxic, weeaboo community that only wants to destroy anyone in their path. Right? Well, no, actually, quite the opposite. See, I've seen countless players hop onto the game, ask a question, and receive an actual answer within seconds, sometimes even by one of the two developers. You know, it's not like if you go into the game and you say, hey, where's the sheep? No one's gonna say, oh, it's on the other side of the world. If you're unsure, just see for yourself. Hop onto the game, ask a question, and wait. Hell, if you don't even want to go through the process of downloading the game, just stop by the Discord and hang out with the people there. We're really, really friendly, and there's a good chance that you might even make some new friends there. And, you know, if you time it right, you might even be able to personally meet Austin or Frederick. Toast's community isn't bad. So how's this possible? Did they just get lucky? The right people joined? No. See, this is one of the advantages that Toast has over nearly every company right now. They aren't after your money. When they were holding their alpha tests in search of bugs, did they ask for $40 up front just so you could play, like, every single fucking MMO out right now? No. As long as you had a key, you could play without a limit in any of the bi-weekly tests that they held. Getting a key was simple too. You could just hop into the Discord, ask for one, and would most likely get a key within 5 minutes. It would have been so easy for them to charge an upfront price for the game, but they didn't. And what happened as a result? The people playing were people who actually had a passion for the game. The server wasn't full of pay-to-win whales who were desperately playing to get some sort of edge over other players. Instead, a majority of the people playing were just there to enjoy it and learn more. That's it. A few of the more dedicated players put time into helping Austin and Frederick find bugs in the game, and rewards were even given to players who found the most bugs and glitches. This created just this friendly, competitive aspect where everyone was working together to help the game grow and flourish. Now compare that to any MMO that has come out in the last 5 years. You pay for a founder's pack and then basically just play the game. No community, and half the people you're playing with are going to end up being the players who dump hundreds of dollars into the game, and will not hesitate to tell you about that fact. Why would they? It's clear that in this age of gaming, companies have gradually stopped giving a damn about making a good game. Lost are the days of innovative mechanics and fair atmosphere and a sense of community. Welcome to the age where companies don't even try to hide the fact that the entire point of their product is to suck all the money they can out of you. I say product because at this point, to call things like Battlefield 2, ArcAge, Revelation Online, or any recent Call of Duty title a game would quite frankly be an insult. Now, Tale of Toast? Is it a game that's trying to make as much money as possible? Do the devs only care about their PayPal balance? No, actually, far from it. For starters, their game has been, and always will be free to play. Like I said earlier, you never had to pay money for a key, and were actually discouraged from doing so with how often they were given out. Even when they implemented the cash shop in one of their alpha tests, did they do the whole, oh, we'll buy 50 diamonds? They were called diamonds initially before later being changed to crumbs. Now, and after the game is released, you get 150 diamonds back? Who would actually be cash hungry enough to put a pay-to-win shop before the game even releases? No, as a matter of fact, they didn't even charge any money. Any player was able to access any of the cash shop items completely free of charge. Also, the cash shop is, and most likely will remain purely cosmetic. Players can only buy things such as cosmetics, name and appearance change vouchers, and stat reset scrolls. It's also worth mentioning that with those scrolls, your stats can be reset any time at any point up to level 10 for absolutely free. You don't even have to pay any gold for it. It's free. You have to press the button and it goes. In fact, it's kind of annoying because you might accidentally press that button and then have to respec your skills again. But anyways, this is what I mean by Tale of Toast changes the future of MMORPGs. Because even with its shortcomings, yes, the servers are having a rough start, and yes, right now things are still being worked on, it's still a fantastic game that has had a smoother start than some of the bigger games out there. I mean, sure, the servers took a bit of a dive, but at least launch wasn't delayed by 12 hours. Ain't that right, Tryon? This, I think, marks the start of something special, proving that you don't need to have a huge team to make an MMO, and proving that not every single MMO is going to be pay to win. Even if Tale of Toast isn't your kind of game, maybe a small developer will see the success of this and get inspired to make one that better suits your playstyle. You never know. But I have a feeling that things are going to get a lot better in the future, and I for one am incredibly excited for the MMORPGs that will surface, especially seeing as how we won't have to bend over and take it from whatever company designs it. I'm Coffee, and thanks for watching.